All right, who won the trade deadline? Some key players moved right at the end of the trade deadline. A pretty big one, to be honest. Starting off with the Colts, Sauce Gardner from the Jets moved over for two first round picks, and then Adonai Mitchell. I think the Colts are probably, after the Rams game, they're probably happy to get rid of him, even though I don't think he's too bad. Just those mistakes cost him a game, so you got to get rid of him. Two first round picks. I think they needed a cornerback. I don't like it because it's an overpay. That's what the Cowboys gave away for Micah Parsons, who Micah Parsons is easily a better player at his position because he's the best at that position versus Sauce Gardner. He may be, he's still top five, top three, maybe, but he's not the best. And secondly, I don't see a cornerback as important right now in the NFL. You just saw Pat Surtain out. His team was still able to put it together because they have good players on their defense. Cornerbacks, I feel like, are a luxury to have right now in the NFL. They're not exactly, and what I mean by that is a star like him. Obviously, you can't have terrible cornerbacks, but you see what Seahawks are doing where they have no top ones or even maybe top fives, but they just have all around really good cornerbacks and a really good pass rush. I think the pass rush right now is just so important in the NFL. To give away two first round picks. You're pretty much selling the farm, and if if this season is just a fluke and people figure out how to stop you like the Steelers did, then that you're going to be screwed next year. So I don't like what they had to give up for him. I don't think he's going to be bad, but also I don't think he's the greatest. He gets pretty handsy, and recently he played great for the first 2 years, and then he sort of started getting called a lot more on flags, and just I don't think he is he can't do everything like some of the other cornerbacks. All right, next one, the Cowboys got Quinnen Williams. Again, they paid for a first round. They got Logan Wilson too. That's not really much I can say about that. He's a starter, but I don't think he's a team changing player. They got Quinnen Williams. I think this is more so a setup for the future. This season they're not going to the Super Bowl. They paid with Mozzie Smith. I kind of like it. Use a first round pick to Mozzie Smith, I believe he was a first round pick, another just a first round overall pick, and use that to get a really solid player, top five maybe, defensive tackle, maybe Dexter Lawrence and Derek Brown, and that's the only people above him. They're gonna be getting the comparison to, oh well, you traded away Micah Parsons all year, probably next 5-10 years for as long as he plays. But this is doing well with the pick they got, and they still have a pick. I don't like that it was their pick, but also it's the 2027 first round pick. So you do good next season, that pick may not even matter. They still have it too for this season, which is really important to note because they can still build off this season, compete next season, and maybe that pick ends up being, late, hopefully for them, late round pick. Huge trade deadline move that I think is one of the most underrated is Rashid Shaheed. I think he's going to be one of those guys that no one's talking about because of the Sauce Gardner move and the Quinnen Williams. And on Sunday, after the games, I think everyone's going to be talking about this. It's important to note, fourth and fifth doesn't seem like a big deal, but he's probably going to be a free agent next year. But he is just a home run guy. And then also an underrated thing is when he was with the Saints last year and they had that great start, Clint Kubiak was the coordinator there. So he knows all about him and all about how to use him. So I think it's going to be, I mean, you just made the Seahawks even tougher. You can't cover Jackson Smith and Jigba one-on-one. You can't cover him one-on-one. And, Cooper Kupp, he's older, but he's still crafty, veteran. And then Torrey Horton, you can't really, in certain situations, some people aren't going to be able to keep up with him. So I think this makes their offense even greater. And they paid a little bit for him, but I mean, I think they may see that he is a star, Another great move, Jakobi Meyers to the Jacksonville Jaguars, only a 4th and 6th. I think mainly part of it was due to the Raiders not really wanting him, or him not wanting to be on the Raiders anymore. Clearly unhappy with the organization. I think it gives them a chance, with Travis Hunter being out. It says right there, knee injury, probably gonna be out for the season, seems like it, or at least long until playoffs. And then Brian Thomas, he's just been struggling. It looks like he may be injured, dealing with some yips. Getting Jakobi Meyers, I think he fits in with this offense. And I think it gives them ability to get in the playoffs and really make a run. I don't think they're going to, go to the Super Bowl, at least what we've seen recently. But I think it gives him some weapons to play around with this year and then going into next year. Eagles are the last, and honestly, they're kind of boom for bust for me on this trade deadline. I think they can either, doesn't seem like anything, or you're gonna go, how the hell did they get those players? Jalen Phillips, they paid a 3rd-round draft pick. He's been pretty injured, banged up, but he's still on his rookie contract. 3 sacks in the season, not great, to be honest, but he's going to have a chance for a lot more next to Jalen Carter. And then keynote 2, you'll see right down here, Vic Fangio previously coached him. I always like that because, he has a feel for that, and you got to think also he's probably saying, to get him. He's probably an advocate for him, and he works in his system. If he can stay healthy, they're going to be scary to go against. Jair Alexander for a 7th-round pick. And he may not even play, honestly. He's been so banged up since the Packers and then Ravens already trading him that doesn't look very good. If he gets healthy and can play, it looks brilliant. Most likely he could even end up not even playing. I would have liked them to address their cornerback issue a little bit more with someone who can be on the field. But, if this hits, it's crazy. And if it doesn't, they only lost a 7th-round pick. It is noting, only 5 tackles for Ravens. I don't know how many plays he made. The only tackle he may have made that I remember is when maybe he shouldn't have against the Bills at the end of the game and just let them get the touchdown so they could get a chance. But if he gets healthy, they look brilliant. If he doesn't, they don't really lose much on it. Finally, the Jets. They didn't win. They were the fire sale, trading away Gardner and Quinnen Williams. They get 2 first-round picks from Sauce Gardner and then 1 from the Cowboys. So they have 3 first-round picks. I think it's great. They're kind of at a weird position where they have some really good players, maybe top 5 in their positions, top 10 in their positions, but they're not the best player in the NFL. They're not great enough where they anchor the entire, where they can anchor the entire team around them. I thought they should have traded Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson too, to be honest. I know they wanted to, Breece Hall, they can franchise tag him. Clearly he wants out, and I think you're trying to build something good there. If he doesn't want to be there, honestly, I think you should have given what you could get away for him. But again, they know him better and the situation better. And then Garrett Wilson, I think they should have traded him. I think they probably could have gotten a first round pick, and you could have gone with 4 first round picks. I think he's really good, but the thing I see from both Breece Hall and him are they look frustrated, and they aren't the best in the NFL. They're again that top 10, top 5 range for their position, but they're not. Breece Hall isn't Saquon Barkley after that knee injury. He's still great. He's not the same. Garrett Wilson, top 10 wide receiver, maybe not top 10. There's a lot of really good wide receivers, but he's not, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or someone who literally you need to throw the ball every single play and he's going to break open the game for you. I think it's good for, a quarterback they're going to be getting, but I don't know if you should have kept him. I think you could have gotten a first round pick and you could have gone in with an entire new team rebuilt. But that was their decision, and we'll see. Fire sale, I don't know if they really won or lost. That'll be decided in the draft.